Right, see, make sure this camera. Alright, what's up, guys? Hopefully the sounds of this wind ain't whistling through the microphone of this camera, but it's pretty damn windy out here. I'm going to show you a trick with these once again. Hold on, it's not just the same old thing. Last time I was telling you, like this, okay? And then all of this, all that. But instead of doing it from the ground, this is more advanced, and if I were you, you might want to get the one step or more heavier these. I like these because the bases, you can stand, but if you get bigger and heavier ones, they won't waver so much. And this is a trick, and only use this on rough concrete where your boots can catch. Like I said, some of you guys before, I enjoy the hell out of working with rough concrete instead of the slippery floor socks thing. I'm better at it. It makes me look better, and I don't know, it's just doesn't work for me. But anyway, instead of going on the ground, you got to establish, like say with the rougher concrete you can get away with is you don't want to use anything slipperier because you can slide before you're ready, you know what I mean? Then establish the idea you can waver your feet around, back out of it, do it again. Just do something like maybe like this first. You know what I mean? You can waver your toes, getting that going, okay? So say your flexibility has been getting at a level like where about mine is now. I get so much and I have to keep it. Make sure my pants ain't getting caught in my crotch here and restricting me. Okay, so you're like about this far now here too. You still can walk forward, but we're not going to do that walking forward. We're going to concentrate on, okay, now I'm this far. Okay, and determining how far you want to, advance yourself in this, and how far you want to venture over. Say you get this far. If your hands are all shaking like this and you're about to fall and bust your hands on the concrete, don't go that far. You want to be able to just, have that control. And plus, you also have to have been already doing stuff without these, where you could stand like this and fall on your hands. Like, for example, you don't want to be, all this pressure on where you're going to, oh no, I'm going to fall, and boom, and you're going to fall on your face. You want to be able to just with or without these, you have to have that subtle instinct where instead of gripping onto them like you're holding on to these for dear life and shaking, instead you want to just suddenly be able to, calmly bring your hands down, or even like that, you know what I mean, you've got to be able to be so good at this thing. You can land on the rough concrete with bare. You should be able to do this with concrete, even if you're not doing bare knuckle push-ups like I do all the time. This, you should be able to be on your fists without it actually hurting you. Depending on how sensitive your hands are. Okay, so you're like that, okay? And what we're doing is go further as you can, and seeing if you can get out. And then we're going a little further, and we're gonna get this far. And you should be able to walk these things around. This is like a helper. You're not really applying a lot of pressure to keep yourself up. And if you did fall down, you can calmly let go, and get yourself out of it even just from the ground. You should already be comfortable before you try this. Venture in a little bit more now. Then wag the feet. You should be able to wag the feet, or you should be able to stand yourself up right like this without going, holding on like, oh my god, But think of it as, you ever see those chicks with those contortion stuff where there's this rack, okay, and they got two handles, and it's like a whole frame thing, and then they're like doing a handstand, and they're having their feet in the air and curling their legs like doing a upside down scorpion, and using their hand strength, and it's like handles. We're doing a little bit of that, but only the difference between that and these is you can suddenly, walk these around and pick and choose, where you want to go with it. You got a little bit more freedom. It's not as dangerous as it looks. You actually have a little bit more freedom. There's like subtleness. Like I said, if you're going like this, shaking your hands, that means you got too much weight. You're not. It's like a exercise of, what do you call it? There's a subtleness to it. And this is kind of cool because it makes you more sure of yourself. And where you want to, it's almost like using my poor man's yoga block kind of thing, where instead you're using this, and you can see in a camera where you're going to be. Try to let yourself down a little bit, where you can go like this and do a push-up. Okay? And then while I'm holding on to these are like a helper. And if you want to get items like this that are wider on the bottom, that'll help you. You know what I mean? So now we're going to see these feet. Look what these feet are doing. You're catching with your toe here, wagging it. And you're not putting a lot of weight. You're just pushing with these just enough where you can wag your feet and get back out. Do nothing but entire sessions of this. But you still have to have acquired some kind of a sense of, how do I want to put that, a sense of timing or whatever the hell. And because what we're doing, how we're doing a split and you're using the ground, and I say try to go up higher, doing knuckle push-ups in the fingertip, because as opposed to down here, you're getting up a little higher. Then you want to use some kind of yoga block, hold your hands up, and then something with your hands this high. And what we're doing is, how I get away with some of the side splits sometimes is I'm kind of, the legs are kind of rotating if you see some of my videos, and I shouldn't theoretically be able to do them at all. But we're targeting areas over here that seem like you can only target these muscles to stretch when you're up in a position like this. Say you're using a yoga block or a chair, you know what I mean? That, you can use this bench behind me and be facing it, but like I said, you got the basic idea what my poor man's yoga block technique. You're not going to be looking, I don't want anybody looking at my butt, you know what I mean? That's kind of weird, unless you're into that shit, but try to get down a little further. Maybe sit here for like a little while longer. But if you start to get the shakes, if you're sitting here a little longer, you can just get your hands down. But then, instead of coming back up with your hands, you're not going to hurt yourself. You're going to go like this again, get back up, and we're going to come back up. Do this 20, 30 times, as many times as you damn well feel like it. Because, to actually maintain your middle splits, like some of us, I lose faster, we forget we got to target that main thing. And some of us, our legs in the middle like that, you're trying to stretch something out and target and shit. Some of the stuff you want to target and stretch out can only be targeted while you're up in this position and not down here but yet there's some stuff like down here in your head down that you're targeted to sitting up don't. You sort of need a little bit of both. And there's weird reasons why sometimes I get away with it, sometimes I don't. And again too, I'm gonna be 48 years old in April and everything else too. That might have something to do with it, where I got to do something every single day all over again just to maintain what I got. But if you even do this, you get this far, wag it around a little bit like this, then you're good, And then if you put your head down like this a little bit, but distribute some weight, and you kind of bend over, you can see what you're targeting there too, a little bit of this and that. Where I eventually get down where I can get in a seated position, just pick these up over my head. But we're doing instead of up and away. What this does for you is it makes you more sure of yourself. Say you're losing the splits all the time, and maybe some days you're getting only this much off the ground. Or if you're new to this or whatever, this shit like this makes you more sure of yourself. Then you get back into what you're doing.